Hello my dear students, in this lecture we will see GATE 2004 question. The question is very simple. The Ascent curve for steel becomes asymptotic nearly at. Now if you know the answer is 10 to the power 6 cycles. The answer is 10 to the power 6 cycles. This we have seen in theory, and if you don't know theory, then concentrate. On y-axis we are plotting stress amplitude, on x-axis we are plotting number of cycles. Now we are plotting this graph on log paper. Now here, therefore, on x-axis there will be a log 10 sf, and on y-axis there will be a log 10 n. There will be a log 10 n. Sf is fatigue strength, which is nothing but stress amplitude, maximum value of stress amplitude, right? Now at SUT, that is log 10 SUT. Let us say forget about log directly. I will explain the concept, right? So forget about log paper, right? Now on x-axis, y-axis there will be SF, on x-axis there will be number of cycles. Now at SUT the component will fail at 0 cycles. Now as cycles increases and cycles becomes equal to 10 to the power 3, slowly strength of component decreases, and the graph will go, let us say, from A to B, and at B the strength is 0.9 SUT, 0.9 SUT. And again, as we go on increasing number of cycles, at 10 to the power 6 cycles, the strength becomes equal to endurance limit. The strength becomes equal to endurance strength AC. Therefore, from B to C, there will be again decrease in strength up to C. But beyond 10 to the power 6 cycle, there is no decrease in strength. The strength is only AC. Beyond 10 to the power 6 cycle, the strength is only AC. Means the graph becomes horizontal. After C, that is after 10 to the power 6 cycle, graph becomes horizontal, which is called graph becomes asymptotic. This is called graph becomes asymptotic. Therefore, answer for this question is after 10 to the power 6 cycles, the graph becomes asymptotic. Option C is correct choice. Again, in same examination, that is GATE 2004, they have asked again one very simple question for 1 mark. The question is, in terms of theoretical stress concentration factor Kt and fatigue stress concentration factor Kf, the notch sensitivity Q is expressed as. Now, my dear students, there are 4 options, and out of the 4 options, you have to select correct choice. Now, we know that notch sensitivity Q is nothing but Kf minus 1 divided by Kt minus 1, and option A was correct choice. The option A was Kf minus 1 divided by Kt minus 1. Therefore, for this question, option A is correct. No need of options. Very simple question. Next question on fatigue loading was asked in GATE 2002. Again, it is very simple question, 1 mark question. The question is, the static load is mounted at the center of shaft rotating at uniform angular velocity. The shaft will be designed for, and there are 4 options. First 3 are static design and D is fatigue design. Now in question, let us say there is a shaft. Let us say this is a shaft. Let us say this shaft is connected or supported between 2 bearings at the extreme ends. At extreme ends there are the bearings, and there is a point load at center. Let us say there is a load mounted at the center of shaft, rotating shaft. They are saying rotating shaft, and the shaft is rotating continuously. Shaft is rotating, right? Therefore, as shaft is rotating. Now see, due to load P, can I say due to load P, the shaft is going to bend. The shaft will bend like this. Due to load P, the shaft will bend like this. Means the bending will be sagging bending. This is a sagging bending shape. This is how the shaft is going to bend. Now if you see, for such type of bending, the upper fiber element on upper fiber is always under compression, that is negative stress, and the element at lower fiber is always tension, under tension, that is positive stress, right? Lower fiber element is always in tension and upper fiber element is always under compression. Now but shaft is here rotating, the shaft is continuously rotating. Therefore, due to rotation, see, let us say on upper fiber there is element A, on lower fiber there is element B. Due to rotation, after some time, the A will, after rotating, will come to the location B after some time, and again by rotating it will go to the A, means continuously A is rotating, means sometimes the element A is going to compression, and sometimes it is going to tension on lower fiber, and sometimes it is going to compression. Again, in cross section you will get clear view. Let us say in cross section bending stress distribution, for this component the bending stress distribution is bending stress sigma b is equal to m by I into y, that we know, means bending stress is directly proportional to y, and y is vertically upward distance or vertically downward distance. Therefore bending stress distribution is linear, like this is a bending stress distribution, right? For such type of loading, the lower fiber is under tension and upper fiber is under compression sigma c, right? And let us say if I consider point A, let us say this is a position A1, it is rotating continuously, the point A is rotating. Let us say after some rotation it is going to A2, then A3, and then A4. It is moving, as it is rotating it is moving, or it is changing its location. Now see, when point A is at location A1, then stress is 0. Again, when A goes from A1 to A2, the stress becomes compression, maximum compression, right? Then from A2 to A3, again stress becomes 0. A3 to A4, the maximum tension, again A4 to A1, 0. Means stress is continuously changing, that is from maximum compression to maximum tension to maximum compression, the load is continuously changing. There, that means it is a fatigue load. Therefore design must be for fatigue loading, right? Therefore option D is correct choice. Thank you dear students. In next lecture we will see more numericals on fatigue loading.